this week or what?
Yeah, just
Not the head though.
not the head. The head's already gone. So.
You ready, Eric?
Never ready.
Sure.
Just being honest. Yeah.
Do you know who's been ruled out for Sunday yet?
As of now, no one's been ruled out. Corey, obviously, he showed up on that injury report yesterday. It's not looking good. We're still holding on for hope, but it's trending in that direction.
That happened in practice yesterday?
Yeah.
What does that do to your offense? You don't have Corey.
You know, it's obviously he's a stud. Gives Denzel Mims an opportunity to step into that Z role, and along with the rotation that we have with Elijah and Keelan Cole, so it gives guys opportunities to step up.
Is that a potentially long-term thing, or do you guys not know? Or?
We'll see. It's day to day. So we're still holding on for this Sunday, like I said, but we'll see as it goes.
Robert, Coleman, Huff, Westco, are you hopeful on those guys?
Coleman,
Huff, and
yeah,
Westco.
Coleman's out. Westco's going to be out, and so's Huff.
Okay. Jerry Davis, will he be coming off IR for the game?
Yeah, he's playing.
Will he be on the pitch count?
Yeah, so we're going to leave it up, not necessarily up to JD, but just with great communication. He has not played in a while, so we got to be able to spell him. Quincy is going to return from concussion protocol, so we feel good about that. So we'll be able to get him at least some reps in there to give JD a break.
With those guys like JD and then obviously CJ, you got the game on Sunday and then you got a game on Thursday, so how difficult is that to manage?
It's tough. It's tough. It's especially on short rest, especially with JD. We have to be conscientious of the fact that he is going to play a game for the first time in a while, and then have a 4-day break before he's got to jump into Thursday. So there's a lot of gymnastics that are happening behind the scenes to keep these guys ready not only for Sunday so they can be their best, but also prepare for Thursday.
With Zach, you talked about needing to evaluate him over the course of the week to determine what to do next. Where are you at in that evaluation? Have you made a decision on whether or not to put him on?
We're still there. We have till tomorrow, and so he's been improving. He's walking around the building. He's in great spirits. So he's been doing everything he needs to do as a professional. So again, we'll finish today, tomorrow, and then from there we'll be able to make decisions.
Did Joe Flacco arrive today?
Yeah, he's here in the building. Happy he's here. He's an awesome individual. So get him out there in practice, and we'll be ready to roll.
You expect to at least have him on the sidelines Sunday?
He'll be on the sidelines. It's not looking like he'll be active. So it's going to be Josh and Mike.
Curious, Robert. You said when we're talking about Flacco trade, you said you wanted 3 quarterbacks in here. If this had happened after the trade deadline, would you guys have signed a veteran free agent then, or was this more the opportunity presented itself with Flacco, so you made that move?
With 3 quarter. Well,
so the trade for Flacco, right?
Yeah.
You said on Wednesday you wanted 3 quarterbacks in here.
Yeah, we've always had Josh.
So theoretically, if it happened after the trade deadline, if Zach had happened after the trade deadline, had been injured,
I got you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jamar Chase, just what can you say about what he's been doing?
He's a stud, man. Which everyone knew coming out. What he's doing for the Cincinnati team is very similar to kind of what Deebo Samuel did for San Francisco his rookie year, where he just kind of unlocked a lot of different things offensively for the rest of the guys, and everyone's gotten better. They're already good, and they've gotten better because of his presence. Tight ends having a heck of a season. Mixon looks fantastic. Higgins, Boyd. I mean, and then obviously Joe is delivering the football where it needs to. The O-line's holding up, so they're hitting on all cylinders, and they're a problem.
Obviously, with Mike White starting this week, do you feel defensively that the defensive side of the ball has to kind of elevate and raise their game just so to help Mike White out and take pressure off of him?
It's easy to say that, DJ, but the reality is the goal of every individual, just go out there and just give it your absolute best, period. You don't have to be Superman. You don't have to make any plays that you're not being asked to make. Just make your plays, do your job, do it to the best of your ability, and if we collectively do that, we'll play our best. That's all you can ask for. And then on the other side of the ball, offensively, everyone just just put out your best effort and do exactly what you're being asked to do. Do it to the best of your ability. Mike's going to be fine, and we're not asking anyone to do more than they need to, because you should already be doing as much as you can, if that makes sense. So it's a cliche type deal when you talk about other teams. Other groups have to step up, because the reality is they should always be playing to their best anyway.
Robert, we focus so much on the Bengals offense, but their defense is playing very well too. I'm curious, you guys were in the market for a pass rusher. Did you guys do a lot of work on Trey Hendrickson in the offseason? What
Yeah.
have you seen from him on the film now with the Bengals?
Yeah, he's exactly what Cincinnati purchased, basically. He's a fantastic player, plays with a lot of effort, strain. He plants the flag in the middle of the field in terms of what you want out of a football player. But we also felt that way about Carl, and Carl in his own right is a disruptive force. It's unfortunate that he ruptured his Achilles, because we would be talking about him in the same light.
When you look at the Bengals, are they kind of a good example of like where you guys are now, where they, were a couple of years ago, and just kind of putting some pieces together, quarterback, defense?
Yeah, I hit on it earlier in the week. This team in 2019 went 2-14. I was on a third-year San Francisco team that beat them 41-17 in their building. But they've been steadfast with regards to continuity, building it the right way, bringing in the people that they need to match not only what they do schematically, but the youth, allowing the youth to grow. And together, they've grown together. And they get a couple pieces that unlock the entire thing with Jamar, Higgins, Boyd. They get some playmakers in there, and I feel like we're right there. We've got a very young football team, and we've got a lot of really cool pieces to work with, and we got a mixture of veterans that we can grow with that aren't like they're over the hill. Like Corey Davis is, 26 years old, so he's got a chance to grow with us too, and and there's a lot of guys like that, and so they're a pretty cool blueprint to look at with regards to how to build an organization, how to build a roster, and get it back on track to where you're winning consistently.
Against the Falcons and the Patriots, you didn't get to the quarterback, I guess, enough, and they had a lot of rush yards against you. What have you seen from the defensive line the past couple of weeks? Because that's really been a strength of the team otherwise.
Yeah, it's easy to say from a run game standpoint. Like I'm always upfront and honest, and I'll say the same thing to you guys that I tell the defense, that we will win and lose games by the way our D-line plays. Period. But with that, everyone needs to do their job. So when it comes to run fits and all that, linebackers have to fit it right, get it to the right players, and the unblocked players got to make a play. From a pass rush standpoint, I felt like we rushed the passer good against Atlanta. I know the sack numbers don't show it, but Matt was getting rid of the ball in record time. Last year, I think I speak for everyone, where we all know it could have been better. It could have been better from a game plan standpoint, creating more one-on-ones for our guys. Could have been better from a player standpoint and winning those one-on-ones, so it's collective. But and it could have been better in the back-end standpoint to get that hitch for the D-line. So it's you never want to pinpoint one thing to why something doesn't work out. But I know the D-line has been very consistent for us all season, and one hiccup doesn't define what that group is, and I'm excited for them to get back on the field on Sunday.
Robert, watching, go ahead, Ken.
Robert, are there specific team leaders that you count on right now to kind of keep the spirits and give the younger players the perspective about a long NFL season and how this team can stack getting better, even if it's not yet stacking wins?
Well, the group is awesome. They are. It's for the most part, these guys are resilient. They know that every time they step in between the white lines, they got to go. It's just the NFL. But at the same time, and I'll always say this: the best coach teams in the world are coached by player coach teams. So the teams that are the best coach are the teams that coach themselves. It's when the locker room takes it over, and we got a really good group. We got a great group of high character young men, and we got a young group that's really trying to figure its way through everything, and they're really just trying to learn each other. There's been a lot of turnover the last couple of years, and it takes time to build that continuity, that bond, and obviously winning seals the bond a little bit faster, and those are things that we're trying to get done.
The running game hasn't produced the way you guys would have wanted. What do you guys have to do to get it going into Sunday?
Got to move the chains first. Stay on the field, get third down, convert on third down, to get opportunities. It's to have more than 4 or 5 plays in the drive. That first and foremost, right? But you look at the game last night. Pretty good example in terms of Green Bay. They only had, I think, 9 possessions, but they were churning out 10, 12, 13 play drives, so they were able to run the ball, I think, over 30 times in a really tight ball game. So it takes moving the chain, staying on the field, and getting those opportunities to run the ball. And it's something that I know our offense is trying to get done.
Take a couple more.
Robert, I know you don't like singling guys out, but watching the film, Greg Van Roten's play has really hurt you guys at some times this season, including on Sunday, the 4th and 1, letting the tackle come across his face, some other short yardage situations. Do you need him to pick up his play at right guard right now?
You know, that it goes back to football being a one-on-one game, right? So obviously you always want to win your one-on-one battle. So when you do have a one-on-one, you want to win, you know, but it's you're not going to win all of them. I think for GVR, what stands out is that, you know, it was a critical 4th and 1, so it's noticed. It's just exacerbated. But he's been fighting his tail off. He knows he's got to play better. We got to coach better. We got to help him better. And it's the same thing I told the backs this morning. Like, if the O-line blocks it for nothing, you got to go find 2. Really good example of it yesterday in that Green Bay game again. You know, that Aaron Jones stuffed at the line of scrimmage. O-line blocked it for nothing. He churned out 2 more yards. This is a team game, and just like we're trying to win one-on-one battles, the opponent's trying to win a one-on-one battle, and so not every one-on-one's going to go our way, but can you find a little bit more? And that's where GVR knows it. I think everyone knows it, and everyone, from an individual standpoint, that's where we need to get better in terms of winning those one-on-ones.
Robert, starting that New England game with 2 runs from Michael Carter, just with the way the offense has gone all season, felt a little uninspiring, frankly, and I was watching from home. But have you taken maybe any more of a role in the offense, or have you given any kind of directive that, I mean, it has to change, and I can't imagine that you would argue it can stay as it has. So how do you convey to LaFleur that it's got to be different, maybe?
Yeah, it's a fair question, Kim. So, you know, the first 15, so we're always in communication with all 3 phases, right? That's constant. That's never going to change, not just because we're winning or losing or we're doing well or not. It's always challenging to find ways to stay ahead of the curve. The reality is in the first 15, you're going to play your favorite, you're going to run your favorite plays, period. Whether it's run play, pass play, it doesn't matter. We ran the ball very well against them the first time we played them, and so it was an opportunity where, from a game plan standpoint, we had our 2 favorite runs. And you'd like to think that you'd either A, get a first down within those 2 runs, or B, have a third manageable. Didn't anticipate it happening the way it did. Not going to talk about mistakes along the way, whether it was from a coaching standpoint, player standpoint, doesn't matter. It didn't work. So, and I'll say it a million times, when things work, you're pretty smart. When they don't, it's, like you said, it's uninspiring and we're not very smart. So it's one of those deals where you go back to process in terms of, all right, those were the 2 plays you picked. Why? All right, here's why you picked it. All right, that sounds right. Did we practice it? Did we go through the process to give ourselves the best chance? And let's be truthful, why didn't it work? Was it because we got our butts kicked? Was it because they gave us something that we didn't? Was it because we busted? Was it because, you know what, that was just a really crappy design? You know, like, there's truth to all of it, but so the most important thing is to go back and figure out what the truth was, so you can make a sound decision moving forward. So I understand the sentiment, especially when everyone's back home and they're watching, because that's fact. It didn't work, so it's uninspiring. But the why is what's most important.
What about the shirt?
One more?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Zoran Milic, Montgomery Township High School. He's in his 21st season. He's the only coach in this high school's history, and has had a lot of success, so he's our coach of the week. All right, thanks, everybody.